Dookie Dash took over the Web3 space. It did over $61 million worth of volume. People made lots of money on flips, value was created, and it's all we spoke about. But there's something else that Dookie Dash has brought to the forefront of the NFT space, a new meta that I think is bubbling just under the surface. I'm talking about skill-based mint and reveals. Now look, let me rewind for a moment. I'm going to break down what Dookie Dash is. If you already know what it is, go down the bottom and you can use those chapters so you can fast forward to the good part. So Yuga had the next phase of their roadmap where apes and mutants were given a soul pass. This pass allowed people to play the game being token gated. The higher the score that you got, the rarer the NFT the holder would get. This also meant that a new sub-economy was born, where people were hiring other people to play for them, and it was totally legal. And then also the market for these higher ranked passes on the open market as well. Now this Fortnite player took out the top spot, which if the offers are to go by, he could be sitting on a cool $1 million deal. So now the meta that I'm going to be talking about is the play to mint or play to reveal. Now this isn't a new concept, it's been done before, but now that Yuga have done it, it's acceptable. Think of Yuga like Apple. They may not be the first ones to adopt the technology, but when they adopt it, it becomes the industry standard. Now look, I personally first encountered play to mint with D's Nuts for their mint. What you needed to do is you needed to play a little game to get to the stage to actually mint. Now it wasn't a hard game, it was quite easily, but it added another level of complexity and interest and intrigue to the minting process, and it actually got you more involved and deeper in the project, and it actually did quite well after mint. But that's not because of the game itself, it's because of the team that was executing good concepts, and they executed good concepts because of the kind of mint chicken before the egg. Now look, there was also another project called Dark Odyssey that had a play to mint mechanic. The game was worked on for a while and was very in depth. Getting through the beta would secure a whitelist. Now sadly the team never went ahead with the project, but the concept was built out and pretty much fully developed. Now look, to illustrate my point, Frankie the Frog, or Frankie's Diner, currently has a play to whitelist game out right now, and it just dropped within the past few days. What is happening is people are playing the game, posting their scores, posting their clips, and getting whitelist from it. So they're kind of changing up the way that it is being gamified, changing up the way that it has been done in the past. So that's why I'm bringing this to you now. It is happening. This isn't just a theory. It's something that I'm seeing right now. Now, why do I think that this meta is going to come into the space? If I break down two successful metas, we've got the whitelist meta and the application meta. The whitelist meta was to drum up hype and awareness, social proof of a project, those giveaways you'd see on Twitter. The application meta was to try and weed out the flippers, but that never works, and curate a community of holders and believers. Now, if you take these two core reasons, you can see that a skill-based meta or reveal makes perfect sense. For as long as the game is going, you're going to have people talking about the project and doing the marketing for the project by posting scores, things like that. And then those putting in the hours into the game will feel a closer attraction to the community. Now, if we then throw in the manual reveal mechanics that has kind of blown up floor prices, things like Renga, you can see that this is the perfect storm for adoption. Now, this is the perfect segue for the channel sponsor, FrankenDAO. Now, FrankenDAO are a DAO that have $1.4 million worth of assets under management. Now, what they've done is they've just dropped a runner called FrankenRun. Now, this is a play to reveal runner game, just like you'd expect with Subway Surfer, just like you'd kind of expect with Dookie Dash. The runner tests the player's skills and rewards the most skilled players with rare NFTs. The game is free to play. You don't need a Frankenpunk NFT or the monster NFT to reveal, so anyone can play it. But obviously, if you want to reveal the monster and try to get a rarer one, you will need to get that. These were airdropped to Frankenpunk holders, and to get them, you will have to go to the secondary market, OpenSea, Blur, things like that, to actually get them. Now, down below, I have all of the links to FrankenDAO, the runner, everything that you need down below, because they are the channel sponsor. And full disclosure, I do actually own two of them myself. Now, what will it take for the mint to reveal or mint to play meta to come to fruition? I think Dookie Dash has shown what's possible with a blue chip project and what can be done to keep a project at the forefront of our minds. When the next hyped project comes onto the scene, think of a meme land style drop that does this from the beginning. I think it will spur on the meta in a full-blown chaotic way. When that project raises millions, everyone will scramble to replicate it because it's what the space does, and we've seen it happen time and time again. Now look, the hurdles of course are the time, effort, and money into building these games before the mint or before the reveal. And I have to stress that it isn't an impossible task, but it is quite hard. Now look, everyone says that gaming in Web3 will be the biggest market for NFTs, and almost every part of crypto Twitter would kind of echo this statement. So it only makes sense for these new projects that are going to be utilizing and playing with Web3 gaming to actually be onboarding these communities in these ways, because it doesn't make quite sense for someone to drop a project and go through a standard mint reveal process when the core part is gaming and is skill based and just a bit of fun in general. So that's why I think that that is the next progression, and that's almost like the baby step into actually building out these games. And with a lot of the VC funding going around, it almost seems like that is a smart move for projects to actually go through. Use that money up front, get some attention, get some scores, throw in some prizes, which then gets people excited for it, which then keeps it at the forefront, builds up that hype, and then runs it out. And that's where I can see it going, because we have seen the space evolve from no one being doxed to then people being doxed being successful, then people having roadmaps, then airdrops, then all the different metas and applications. And I feel like the space is maturing quite fast, and that's what we actually need in the space. So I feel like for a Web3 gaming project, they are almost going to need to have this. Now, hopefully you found value in this video. Hopefully I was able to open up a little bit of a thought bubble and a thought process for you when it comes to new mechanics in the space and what's actually happening. The reason that I wanted to bring this to you is seeing the success of what Dookie Dash has done, and knowing that thinking 3-4 steps ahead can be the catalyst for you actually taking advantage. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to follow every Web3 gaming project. It doesn't mean that you need to jump in and kind of blindly follow everything that you see on Twitter. But the idea is this opens up your mind, broadens your horizons with what I think the play to mint or play to reveal meta will be. So you can then either brush up on your skills or get ready and keep an eye out on what may happen, so that when you do start to see a few things popping up, you see the patterns, you see that recognition, you can get in early and then hopefully secure those juicy flips and get in on those projects. Hopefully you found value in this video. If you did, please consider hitting up that subscribe button, and while you're down there, also hit up the like button. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.